Coming up tonight on News Watch, the Coles County Sheriff's Office releases the results of an investigation into an incident at the jail officials call concerning and highly unusual.
Also tonight, how one local organization is getting a little greener in the near future. Ben?
Beautiful sunny skies to start your work week here across East Central Illinois. Looking out on our tower camera over the athletic fields here at Eastern's campus. Gorgeous conditions, though a little on the cooler side for this time of year. Those warmer days, though, are right around the corner. This is News Watch. Your Monday evening edition starts now.
The Charleston House proudly supports Newswatch. Now welcoming guests on Charleston's historic 6th Street. The Charleston House Bed and Breakfast Inn offers refined accommodations in a beautifully restored bed and breakfast. For booking information, visit craigcollection.com or call the number on screen.
TCI Realty, Charleston area's real estate connection. Commercial, land and farm, and residential real estate. Experienced realtors with an up-to-date website at tcirealty.net. TCI Realty supports the students of WEIU Newswatch.
We're learning more about what led to a string of 4 suicide attempts in one weekend at the Coles County Jail. Good evening and thanks for joining us. I'm Olivia Bennett. Here's what we know right now. The Coles County Sheriff Kent Martin says 3 people incarcerated at the Coles County Jail attempted to hang themselves the weekend of March 28th. He says 1 person attempted suicide, was taken to the hospital for treatment, and attempted suicide again after returning to the jail. Officials say all of the attempts were stopped and all the individuals are recovering. Martin says the office concluded the events were not connected, but officials haven't determined motives for the attempts. He says an investigation determined jail staff handled the situation appropriately, but the incident highlighted another issue.
Probably the biggest obstacle we run into is just the lack of available mental health beds. We can have an inmate found unfit, and it takes a period of time to get them into the Department of Human Services where they would go for treatment.
Martin says officers have also faced issues with delays in treatment placement due to technicalities and barriers with medical transportation for inmates. He says the jail is working to increase preventative measures, including incorporating suicide-proof items like tearable shower curtains into facilities. Martin says officials have also offered mental health treatment to others who witnessed the attempts. Newswatch will have a full report on the investigation later this week.
Good evening. Great conditions to end your Monday here across East Central Illinois. Sunny skies throughout the entirety of our viewing area today. We did pay a little bit of a price for those sunny skies, though. Below average temperatures for our highs today. A couple of communities didn't even break the 60-degree mark towards the north. Indicator, Champaign and Danville, only 59 for our high today. In Charleston, we finished up right on 60 degrees. That's 10 degrees below average where we should be for this time of year. Those temperatures are still staying right around our daytime highs. Those sunny skies are going to still be in full force as we get overnight tonight. Temperatures will start to drop back down towards the mid-40s, but these winds are going to start to shift towards the south, promoting warmer weather for the mid-portion of our work week. I'll have the full details on that warm-up coming up.
Thanks, Ben. Now for a follow-up on last week's report about a Good Friday fishing trip that ended in gunfire. We told you about that case Tuesday. Prosecutors say Jordan Coleman, Jesse Coleman, and Jaden Reynolds went to White Oak Park in Paris the night of April 3rd. The Colemans are accused of harassing and threatening Tajon King, Dwayne Williams, and Danville Alderman Jaleel Jones. Prosecutors say the 3 victims were fishing when the suspects surrounded them, used racial slurs, and Jordan Coleman allegedly threatened one of them with a shotgun. Threatened the victims with a shotgun, that is. Authorities say one of those victims fired a concealed carry weapon, hitting Jordan Coleman. Back on April 14th, both Jordan and Jesse Coleman appeared in court and were denied pretrial release. Edgar County State's Attorney Philip Doppelstein says the 3rd man, Jaden Reynolds, was released with a notice to appear in court today. Now, online records show Reynolds is charged with hate crime and unlawful sale of a firearm, and both of those are felonies. Those records also show during today's hearing, a judge appointed a public defender to represent Reynolds. He's due back in court for a preliminary hearing on Friday. A former Eastern Illinois University geology professor charged with crimes against children is back in court. This morning, 67-year-old Craig Chesner appeared in the Coles County Circuit Courthouse for a status hearing. In February, police arrested Chesner and charged him with soliciting a minor. Records show Chesner requested release with conditions, but was denied. His next court date is scheduled for May 5th. Ex-Mattoon pastor Douglas Overmeyer was also back in court this morning. Overmeyer was arrested in December on child pornography charges and, if convicted, could face between 6 to 30 years behind bars. Records show the 51-year-old requested release with an electronic monitor, which was denied. His next hearing is scheduled for May 20th. Decatur firefighters are sharing details about a massive fire this morning. Take a look. Fire crews say around 3:30 they were called to a structure fire at 405 West William Street, right next to Oglesby Mansion. Firefighters quickly made entry and found light smoke and fire on the second floor, with heavier fire on the third floor. Crews were able to contain the fire and prevent it from spreading to the nearby mansion, which has ties to Abraham Lincoln. Decatur Fire Chief Neil Elder tells us the crew's quick actions likely saved the historic site from being damaged. He also says the building was unoccupied. There were no serious injuries, and the cause of the fire is under investigation. Also in Decatur, one person is seriously injured after a crash Sunday afternoon. Decatur police say it happened just before 1 at the intersection of South Main and East Wood Streets. They say a 21-year-old driving a Dodge sedan southbound ran a stop sign, hitting a Toyota Camry. The 72-year-old driver of the Camry was taken to the hospital with life-threatening injuries, and the driver of the sedan refused treatment. Authorities say there's no indication either of the drivers were under the influence of drugs or alcohol. It's been 1 year since a fiery Coles County plane crash killed 4 people. On the day before Easter, April 19th, 2025, a single-engine Cessna Skywagon 180G crashed near Trilla, roughly 9 miles south of Mattoon. A preliminary report from the National Transportation Safety Board shows Ross R. Nelson, Ramey A. Rundle, Courtney L. Morrow, and Michael H. Morrow, all of Menominee, Wisconsin, died in the crash. Those documents also show Ross Nelson was the owner and pilot of the plane. Newswatch reached out to the NTSB for an update, and they tell us their investigation is ongoing. They tell us their investigation can take years. Classes are back in session at the University of Illinois Springfield. The school's faculty union announced they've suspended their strike today. Tenured and tenure-track faculty returned to their classrooms this morning after being on strike for over 2 weeks. The UIS United Faculty Union says they reached a tentative agreement with the university late Sunday night. Union members will review and vote to approve or reject the agreement this week, and if accepted, it will go to a vote by UAS administration. Well, many gardeners enjoy growing food for themselves and their families, but one local organization is working to provide fresh produce to people around their community. Newswatch's Andrew Spade joins us live at Eastern Illinois University's Thoot Greenhouse with details on their work and how it's set to grow. Andrew?
That's right, Olivia. With the weather finally starting to stay a little consistent out here, things are greening up. Today I spoke with one local nonprofit organization and found how they're growing for the near future. When the weather starts to warm up and the trees start to green up, some go for a walk while others plant a garden.
Woo!
In Mattoon,
Done.
one local nonprofit is using the weather to its advantage.
Our mission at Fit to Serve is to equip people for works of service. So we do that through programs that we have here in Mattoon with local youth. And we also do that through our 3 gardens. We have the 1/4 acre regenerative garden, which is behind us here. We have a 3 acre, it's basically a fruit garden right now. And then we also have a sensory garden on our property for those that can't experience a typical garden setting.
And with the fresh produce,
we have a farmer's market here every Saturday beginning in the middle of May from 10 to noon. They can pick out a tomato out of the garden like it's a puppy. No, not that one, I want that one. And they can take it home right that day. And last year, we just developed a relationship with Aramark, so our produce is now going to the Mattoon school system in their lunches and snacks.
Sorry.
Bo Scott's wife, Ashley, is garden director at Fit to Serve, and she prioritizes the quality of what they grow, especially when it's going straight onto students' plates.
I have bell peppers growing in our nursery, and that's going to go in this one. School food's not bad, but, beside the rumors, but it's also a great opportunity to put locally grown produce with the nutrition that we work so hard to put into it, and to be able to feed our youth is huge.
And those efforts are growing. Last month, Fit to Serve received a grant from the Illinois Farm Bureau to support their efforts, and Bo knows how that will help.
Increase our capacity. Last year, this garden produced 18,000 pounds of produce. 3,500 pounds went to the Mattoon Community Food Center and to the Haven, which is our local homeless shelter. So what we would like to do is more of that. Maybe not so much a deeper reach, but more of a broader reach in who we can introduce to our produce, both with sales and donations.
And like Bo mentioned earlier, the farmers market is on May 16th from 10 to noon, selling produce they grew at that very farmers market in Mattoon. And now that's at the corner of First and Broadway. Reporting from the Thuke Greenhouse at Eastern Illinois University, I'm Andrew Spade with WEIU Newswatch. Olivia, back to you.
Thank you, Andrew. What a perfect story for spring. Well, it looks like a Central Illinois landmark is earning some new recognition. Leaders at the Illinois Arboretum at the University of Illinois in Urbana say it's been awarded an accreditation by ArbNet Accreditation Program. The Level 1 accreditation by ArbNet comes a year after the formation of the Division of Parks and Natural Spaces, which included the Illinois Arboretum. The Arboretum consists of 160 acres and is home to more than 100 tree species and includes the Japan House and the Idea Garden on UIUC's campus. The Arboretum is now listed in the ArbNet Morton Register database, joining over 60 other Illinois arboretums. Well, today was a great day to check out the trees, and it sounds like Ben Whitney is tracking some more pleasant days ahead. Right, Ben?
You're exactly right, Olivia. We're going to see some warmer conditions throughout our daytime tomorrow and for a lot of the middle portion of our work week. Certainly not as warm as that 92 degrees down in Phoenix, Arizona. Those warmer temperatures all on the way. I'll have the details on just how warm right after this.
Hello, I'm Blake Wood, Eastern Illinois University class of 2006. I worked at WEIU Newswatch all 4 years of college and still have the collection of vintage shirts to prove it. The experience I gained at WEIU launched my career in TV news and public relations. Today, WEIU needs your help now more than ever. With the loss of federal funding, I'm asking you to join me in supporting the station. Visit WEIU.net to make your donation. What I'll always remember about WEIU are the lifelong friends I made and the professional experience I gained working at the station. It's where I anchored my first newscast, covered severe weather, and told stories that mattered to communities like Charleston, Arcola, Casey, and Paris. If you value education, local news, and local programming, please donate online or call the station. Support WEIU. Thank you.
Good evening. Gorgeous conditions across central Illinois to start off our work week. High pressure over the northern Great Plains helped to keep those skies on the clearer side, but we do have change on the way, and you can see that on our satellite radar picture here. A warm front tracking in from the southwest, going to be bringing some warmer temperatures overnight tonight. We'll have just how warm in just a moment. Temperatures up into the 60s for most of us today. Didn't quite break the 60-degree mark up towards the north. 59 for Decatur, Champaign, and in Danville. Our warmest spot, 63 degrees down to the southeast in Robinson. Right now, those temperatures are still on the warmer side, right at our daytime high here in Charleston. These temperatures are going to slowly start to drop back down as we get overnight tonight. Back down to a low in the mid-40s here in Charleston. But note those clear skies are going to continue overnight tonight, but those winds are going to start to pick up behind that warm front moving through, coming in from the south around 10 to 15 miles an hour, gusting closer to 25 miles an hour at times. These wind gusts are going to be a little bit more prominent throughout our daytime tomorrow. Some of these winds could get closer to 40 miles an hour during our afternoon and evening hours as these winds start to pick up generally more from the southwest. A few more clouds will start to build in towards the afternoon and evening hours as well, but temperatures back in the mid-70s, back above average for our Tuesday in Charleston. And again, those clouds will start to build in as we head in towards a little bit warmer of a midweek period on Wednesday. A future cast, you can see that high pressure starting to slide off to the east and that warm front trekking in from the southwest. But note what's coming in from the north. Another cold front just behind our picture banner here. Roll this forward another tick for you. That's going to be generating the chance for a few spotty showers and the potential for a thunderstorm overnight Tuesday and into Wednesday. But again, that warm front pushing through is going to be driving some higher wind gusts, especially during our afternoon and morning hours tomorrow. Note these winds coming in from the south just after sunrise, above 40 miles an hour for some of our communities, but these winds are going to stay on the stronger side throughout a good chunk of the rest of our day. Weakening just a little bit towards the afternoon, but still coming in fairly strong, around 30 to 35 miles an hour. Those winds are going to start to pick up just a little bit more overnight Tuesday as we get in towards Wednesday. Again, for Futurecast, clear skies throughout most of the rest of our Tuesday. Those clouds are going to start to come in just a little bit after noon during our day tomorrow. And those chances for showers will be back in the forecast as well. We're really looking at the possibility early Wednesday morning and towards sunrise Wednesday morning. Not too of a chance for that severe weather or any potential thunderstorms, but it could be a few spotches of rain across the area as we get towards Wednesday morning. The real chance for rain this next 5 days is going to be coming Thursday night and into Friday. We'll have more details on that. We could see a few storms with that system moving through, but not a great severe chance as of right now. These temperatures, though, will take a little bit of a hit as we get towards Friday. Temperatures back up near 80 degrees for Thursday, but then dropping back down towards the 70-degree mark, just barely below our average for this time of year across east central Illinois. So again, 77 degrees for our high tomorrow. Chances for rain and potential thunderstorms overnight Tuesday and into Wednesday, but these temperatures won't be taking a hit. 74 degrees Wednesday, 78 on Thursday. A little bit of rain chances Friday and overnight into Saturday, taking a little bit of a hit in that temperature department, but still above average for this time of year. A little bit cooler as we start next work week with a chance for some showers returning on Monday. So overall, a beautiful spring forecast, especially for those gardeners across east central Illinois.
Thank you, Ben. I was just out there. It was actually pretty nice out there. A little chilly, but yeah, still beautiful out there today.
I mean, I see all 70s except for one day this week, so I'm happy. You guys know how I am. You know how I am. Well, anyway, thank you so much, Ben. And tonight in sports, EIU basketball adds a new couple players for their upcoming season.
Plus, Eastern softball refuses to lose. We'll tell you if the Panthers are still undefeated up next. Thanks for watching. Your WEIU Sports Watch Report is coming up.
I'm Everett Lau, an Eastern Illinois University graduate from the class of 2021. As an Edgar County farm kid, I grew up with a childhood dream of becoming a broadcast meteorologist. I spent a lot of time in the WEIU studio during my 4 years in college, and that's how I got to this studio, WTHI TV in Terre Haute, Indiana. WEIU prepared me for long nights of tracking thunderstorms, fine-tuning details of approaching winter storms, and how to be a broadcaster in general, whether it was weather, news, or even sports. I needed WEIU to achieve my dream, and now WEIU needs me and you to help carry out its mission of setting up students for success. Please consider making a financial gift to support WEIU so the station and its dedicated staff can continue operating this outstanding training ground for aspiring broadcasters, journalists, and scientists. Your gift can allow local students like me provide local programming for our local communities. Learn more at weiu.net or by calling the station. Thanks for watching.
We begin the night at Williams Field as the Panthers are coming off a dominant win against St. Louis. And they kept it rolling on a chilly Saturday. The Panthers notched a victory in the first game of the doubleheader against Tennessee Tech 7-3. In the second game, Rylan Gick pitched 7 shutout innings, while the Panthers offense had her back, winning 6-0. And in the final game of the series, Eastern won 7-6 with a sacrifice fly by Alicia Frederick. EIU sits on top of the OVC with a 17-3 conference record. Up next, the Panthers will be back at home on Wednesday, taking on the University of Illinois Chicago. As for EIU baseball, they've won 6 straight games heading into the weekend series against Little Rock. Can they push things further against the top team in the OVC? Well, now, although they kept it close in Friday's game, forcing 14 innings, the Panthers would end up getting swept in the 3-game series by the Trojans. Saturday's game saw Bryce Riggs earning his first loss of the season. A rough night on the mound saw the Panthers fall 7-11. Sunday's result didn't bring much better. In fact, EIU allowed 11 runs on 12 hits in 7 innings. The Trojans leave Charleston with an 11-1 victory. Crossing over from the diamond to the hardwood, EIU men's basketball has some new additions for the 2026-27 season. The Panthers have signed forward DeMar Burton from Tiffin University, guard Jalen Miller from East Central Oklahoma, and guard Devin Davenport from Missouri Valley College. With these new additions, EIU is looking to build off last year and advance even further in the OVC tournament this upcoming fall. The season schedule is yet to be announced. We'll go around the horn for some local high school baseball that happened this weekend. The Rockets are taking off this season as Tolono Unity makes it 6 consecutive wins, following a 7-6 win over Teutopolis. Mattoon continues their season slump with a 9th straight loss against Newton, falling in a scoreline more appropriate for football, 18-14. And finally, Effingham falls just short in a Saturday showdown with Champaign Central. The Maroons come out on top 2-1. Now to the pros, the Chicago Cubs have a chance to give the Mets their 11th loss of the season. This one is scoreless all the way until the 5th inning as MJ Melendez blasts his first home run of the season and his first as a Met. Fast forwarding all the way to the bottom of the 9th, Michael Conforto is pinch hitting, laying the ball perfectly along the line. Gets past Tyrone Taylor and the runners score, and we're going to extras. With a runner on third, red-hot Nico Horner sends a sacrifice fly to left field off of former Cub Craig Kimbrell. And what do you say, Shy City? The Cubbies walk it off and complete the sweep over the Mets with a 2-1 win. Chicago now hands New York its 11th straight loss for the first time since 2004. Up next, the Cubs will stay at home taking on the Phillies tonight at 6:40. In the NL Central, every game matters. The Cards take that to heart as they look to seal the series sweep with the win over the Houston Astros. We start in the 5th as leadoff man J.J. Weatherholt clocks in with bases loaded, and he smacks one to the right field wall, and the runs start coming in. Nathan Church scores in, and catcher Pedro Pajes stumbles his way across home plate in time. In the 8th, Houston might have problems, but Yordan Alvarez isn't one of them. He hits his 10th homer of the season, good to make him the current MLB home run leader. 9 innings can't decide a winner, so we're in extras. Mason Wynn gets a good hold of the pitch and drives in 3 runs to give Lou the series sweep. No rest as they're already in action against Miami. And at last check, well, I didn't check that before here, but the White Sox, now over to them, are looking to take a series victory in Sacramento with a rubber match against the A's. In the top of the 2nd, Derek Hill goes deep to make it 2-0 Sox as there were nothing yet as Miguel Vargas hits a 2-run homer, and that makes it 4-0. Now in the 5th, Munetaka Murakami joins a home run parade with a 2-run dinger of his own to put the White Sox on top 6-1, excuse me, and the White Sox aren't done yet as Colson Montgomery hits his 4th home run of the game for the Southsiders to make it 7-1. And the final score is 7-4 as the White Sox get the series win. They now head to Arizona for a 3-game series with the Diamondbacks starting tomorrow night at 8:40. Now finally tonight, EIU Women's Hoops gets another signee as Nevia Dickman is coming to Charleston from Loyola Chicago. U of I basketball also announced it was busy this weekend as they secured the signing of Max Prep's first team All-American Quentin Coleman. That was for men's basketball. He was named 2025 Missouri Basketball Player of the Year and is the 5th player to join the 2026 class of players under head coach Brad Underwood. That'll be it for me from sports tonight. Olivia, back to you.
Thanks, Andrew. Still to come, Ben Whitney returns with a final check of the spring-like Skywatch forecast. But first, it may be time to start making some summer plans. We'll have details on a fair opportunity opening soon. Thanks for watching. This is Newswatch on WEIU.
Ella Langley has her first #1 album on the Billboard 200. Dandelion, the country singer's sophomore studio disc, debuted with the best week for a country album by a woman in 2 years, according to data provider Luminate.
Yo, what's up, money? You got a problem? Nah, yo, hold my poodle. Huh? Hold my poodle, dog. What, you want some of this? You want some of this?
If you've ever wondered whether the Wayans brothers would make a sequel to their 2004 comedy White Chicks, we've got an update. Sean and Marlon Wayans told Entertainment Tonight if their new scary movie, opening June 5th, does well, a White Chicks 2 can happen.
Deep in the heart of the forest, there is a magical world where wondrous creatures play the day away.
And going back another dozen years, Amazon MGM is developing a live-action version of Fern Gully, The Last Rainforest. Marielle Heller, writer-director of The Diary of a Teenage Girl, is set to pull the same double duty with the new take on the animated fantasy. Remembering the magic powers of nature in Hollywood, I am David Daniel.
Finally tonight, how was this for a sign summer's getting closer? Tomorrow is the first day you can grab tickets for arena events at the Illinois State Fair. Organizers say there's something for everyone, from rodeo action to roaring engines. You can visit the full slate of events at the Illinois State Fair website. The fair runs from August 13th through August 23rd in Springfield. Well, I would say that we have definitely had some fair weather today. Ben Whitney returns with a final check of the Skywatch forecast.
They could have definitely thrown the fair this week, Olivia. Gorgeous conditions it'll shape up to be across central Illinois. Overnight tonight, back into the mid-40s for our overnight lows. Clear skies, though those winds will start to pick up as that warm front pushes through. We'll see highs back near 77 degrees tomorrow in Charleston. Those winds will be gusting close to 40 miles an hour during our afternoon and evening hours tomorrow. A little bit cloudier into Wednesday, but temperatures still staying in the mid-70s, up near 78 degrees for Thursday. Well, we're tracking a few chances for showers and some potential thunderstorms throughout the next 7 days. But apart from that, it'll shape up to be an absolutely gorgeous next week ahead across the state.
For once, I actually have no complaints about what you have to say. Nothing negative to say, believe it or not.
I don't know, but it's going to get hot out there. Thanks, Ben, and thank you for joining us. For more news and weather, be sure to log on to our website at WEIU.net.
There you'll find the real-time forecasts and the news video of the day. And if news is happening in your community, let us know by dropping us an email at news@weiu.net.
And have a great night.
The Charleston House proudly supports Newswatch. Now welcoming guests on Charleston's historic 6th Street, the Charleston House Bed and Breakfast Inn offers refined accommodations in a beautifully restored bed and breakfast. For booking information, visit craigcollection.com or call the number on screen.
TCI Realty, Charleston area's real estate connection. Commercial, land and farm, and residential real estate. Experienced realtors with an up-to-date website at tcirealty.net. TCI Realty supports the students of WEIU Newswatch.